As we get into the patriarchs, continue on with the patriarchs, we just got done reading Job. Going to be reading about Abram now, and his family, all that went on with him, and we're going to be getting down to here, where God told Abram to go into the land of Canaan, and he made him a promise, all this will be yours. As far as the eye can see, and I'm not exactly sure how he told him, but it's all going to be yours. But then God didn't tell him to do this. And Abram journeyed going on still toward the south. So I think this part here should have been up underneath here. This verse, the division in the way this was divided should have ended here. But I don't want to be obstinate. There's enough of that going on YouTube these days. But he went on going still southward, toward the south, and ends up in Egypt. It's the first time Egypt is mentioned in the Bible. It's also interesting, and I want you to watch for this. Every time Egypt is mentioned, it says there was a famine in the land. It'll happen a few more times. When his sons went down there, I remember also God commanded, go not down into Egypt. But they ended up going anyway. There was always a famine in the land. What drove them into Egypt each time when they went in to visit Joseph? A famine. They needed food. But that's not why he went down there. It just happened to be a famine in the land at this point. Didn't say that he went down in to get any food or nothing. Because God wouldn't have required him to go down there to get his sustenance. God would provide. But remember how it ended up, they end up picking up Hagar, I'm sorry. And she ended up having Ishmael, who the Muslims believe Abraham took to Mount Moriah to offer up as a sacrifice. That's why there's a Muslim mosque there on that site of Mount Moriah. When you see pictures of Jerusalem, the city of Jerusalem, you see that golden dome. It's called, they call it the, what do they call it? They call it the Mosque of Omar, but they call it the Dome of the Rock. But it's the one with the gold dome on it, behind the Eastern Gate that you see there in all the pictures of Jerusalem. But it's a mosque. It's a Muslim mosque at this point. They believe that it's going to be, they believe that's where that Abraham, they think, took Ishmael to offer. When, of course, we know that it was Isaac, the perfect example of Christ's sacrifice and God's willingness to give up his only son. Okay, so, but it's also introduction to what's going to occur with the fact that Ishmael was the son of an Egyptian. The proclamation of his birth sounds so much like the proclamation of Christ, in that an angel came and said, thou shalt bear a son, and thou shalt call his name Ishmael. It sounds like thou shalt bear a son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sin. But it says, of Ishmael it says, it says, with Jesus it says that he shall be great and shall be called the Son of the Highest. And Ishmael it says, he shall be a wild man. But I believe that's where the Antichrist is going to come, is from Egypt. And it's going to all play a part since the beginning of time to the end of time. But once again, we'll keep an eye out for this phrase that says, there was a famine in the land, as we go through and notice more about Egypt. That Abram went on down toward without the command of God. That's what started it all. Hey, here I am on livestream.com, but I'm not broadcasting there. In fact, these thoughts videos are going to be exclusive to YouTube anymore. See, I used to post them in as kind of a, well, actually, there was a time where I was only posting my thoughts, at the end of the readings on live stream, and I wouldn't make a separate video for YouTube. So those are kind of early on in those live streams, and I still wouldn't mind if some of you folks come over to befriend me on Facebook and and join in on some of the readings there. Oh, now my screen's now gone blank here. So join me there on Facebook, and sometimes I do a little bit of different stuff on live stream where I would sing and stuff, but I think I'm going to carry that over to YouTube now. That's why I'm not recording. So I'm going to do some of the singing, but I'm going to make a video on live stream sort of to put the word out there, and then I'm going to take that video, I'm going to post it here on Facebook. I get them all confused. Here on YouTube. So be watching out for that video also, to see what kind of things I'm going to start incorporating here on Family Bible Time on YouTube. But this video that I just made as an introduction to today's reading is exclusive only to you folks here on YouTube. And so I'm going to fire up the old iPod here and get ready to read.